Very well. Let this abomination unto the Lord begin.
The guy mumbled. I didn't even know what he had. He hit me with the bag. And
wait, was that when Brad kicked him out or something? Yeah, Brad came out from behind the bar. It was like, you gotta go.
I was like, I'm looking at my phone and I look over and he says, Eagles. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And Brad, out of nowhere, saves my ass.
Yeah.
Brad is a little bar angel, isn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
Love it.
So should we introduce our guest?
Well, let's do our initial introduction. Welcome to the Planet Express Delivery Podcast. This is David.
Hi, this is James.
This is Suds, and apparently we do that like once every 20 episodes these days.
Hey. When it's your podcast...
This is my podcast.
Comment.
I took over.
You took over, did
Yeah.
you? You just kept showing up.
That's true. Also, one of our very good friends, Eric, last name unknown, is joining us.
Eric Anonymous?
Yeah.
Eric Anonymous.
Yeah, I like it.
that.
That's good.
AKA King Tut.
Yeah.
Eric Anonymous is a great solo project name.
I'll write that down.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like sort of a momentous occasion. I've been trying to get Eric to do this, like to actually be a legit guest for a very long time. I know that you were on at some point at Shady's, weren't you?
Yeah, I tried not to say anything.
Yeah, I think that I don't think I was there, so I didn't get to actually witness that.
I was on because you weren't there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Producer / photo taker /
Peanut Gallery member.
Information giver.
Oh, true.
When we would fuck shit up.
Yeah, just
I
look
know
over
my
your
way
shoulder
around
and see
Google.
Eric like shaking his head no.
That's the wrong date.
Doesn't tell us why we're wrong or how, but you're wrong.
Just
we always know.
That's That's what I do.
Yeah.
So, this episode is... Oh, God, I can't even remember the name now.
Proposition,
No,
fuck.
It's
not Proposition.
Already, off to a good start.
Off the rails.
Lethal Inspection.
If everybody's wondering, I'm shaking my head no.
It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're already shithouse drunk.
I wouldn't say shithouse.
only a
We're
handful.
venturing that way. So
I do think it's fun. I mean, this is probably the best beverage that any guest has ever brought for us to also enjoy. Bloody Marys.
Welcome. A little potassium in
Yeah,
there.
thanks, Eric.
You're a little hungover yourself, aren't you? Yeah. Last night was a rough night.
I had a conversation about gun control last night with a person who doesn't believe in it.
Which I tried to stop. I will
You were
emphasize
right. I was
this.
wrong.
It's like, don't do it. I just listening from off the side. I'm like, why is this conversation going on? I don't. I'm banging my head against a brick wall, and
Yeah.
that's.
I was just like catching, because you were sitting right next to me, I was catching like snippets of it from like just my periphery. And I would just like kind of lean in for a second and I just like, the Second Amendment. And just like, what were we talking about over here?
Yeah, we talked a lot about how the world's the same now as it
Yeah.
was in 1776.
What's happening over here? Sugar?
God.
Okay.
Yeah. That, I don't want to get into it, and I am not knowledgeable enough truly to get into it, but that is something that blows my mind, that apparently that the Constitution is the perfect document that still should be upheld to every single word exactly as it was written today. Like, I don't understand it, but again, I'm not knowledgeable enough about it, but I know that the person you were arguing with, that is one of his main arguments, and I don't get it. That was pretty good.
Nothing's gonna come in handy.
I believe those comments are. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex, for your input. I don't feel like I'm an authoritarian, but you might be right.
Shut your murderous fat mouth!
Alright, before we
Hey, hold on, we gotta change this.
Yeah, before we get way off, let's start talking about the episode a little bit.
Okay.
James,
So as Mike already fucked up, this is Lethal Inspection, written by Eric Horsted. We want to do a synopsis?
yeah, you gonna do your wing it thing?
He's gonna improv it.
Let's do this. Okay, so after a mock Sithal War reenactment,
That's right, Sithal, as in the Star Wars.
which are a real thing in this universe now.
Apparently, yeah.
Bender realizes that he is mortal when the professor tells him he was built without a backup unit. Filled with murderous rage, he attempts to track down the inspector who approved him despite this oversight, and brings along Hermes for some fun bureaucratic adventures.
Whose voice is that? Fun bureaucratic adventures.
That's a sort of, I don't know, Troy McClure.
Troy McClure! You may have seen me in things as Don't Touch That. It hurts.
You might know me from such motivational films as Get Confidence, Stupid.
Well, Eric, thank you and welcome to the show.
I have a question.
Oh, God.
So, they're doing a reenactment of the Civil Wars of 2856, or I think it's something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it seems more like they're like LARPing, because then they actually they crown a winner or whatever.
Yeah, well, then...
Are we led to believe that in the actual Civil Wars, then at the end they like counted up like the deaths and chose a winner, or...
Well, they should know the outcome before they go into the...
Yeah, exactly.
I
don't understand.
No, this is like the floor hockey league of war reenactments, where it's just like, just show up at the fucking Y at like 3:00 and we'll just work it out then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except that they do it right next to a cemetery for some reason.
with 90 million graves.
Yeah, oh my God. And it's all based off the winner was all the lowest cost per number of deaths.
Yeah.
It was a very bureaucratic war.
Yeah, so Darth Sploder, well, in the reenactment, Darth Sploder, Darth Erderus.
Darth Sploder.
I think that was the first one I said.
I thought you said Darth Destroyer.
Darth Sploder.
Oh, jeez.
They're all
Should we
stupid
start the
names.
list? That was still my favorite line of the whole episode was like the first line where Fry says, "This is every bit as fun as the real Civil War," before he realized it was the Civil War.
Of course, the Civil War was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the way Hermes is like tabulating what is the line? The like net cost per life cut tragically short.
Yeah.
But I find that endlessly humoring, because during the Civil War someone had to like manage how many fucking bullets do we send these guys? Just like, we can't afford that many.
Yeah,
there had to be some fucking bean counter working in QM who was just like, no, you guys don't get canteens. You're gonna be dead in like 8 seconds.
Yeah, nobody in the front line had canteens.
Just use your hat.
Or your boot.
Your mustache.
Yeah.
It's like Russia in World War II, right? They gave one guy a gun and one guy bullets, and when the other one died, the other one took whatever they had.
Yeah.
I think that's a real thing.
Isn't that, they just gave you just like one magazine. They're just like, you just pick up a gun when you get out there.
Yeah,
There's
there'll be
tons
plenty
of
laying
them.
around. Yeah.
Jesus.
Actually, isn't that a thing? I've always questioned that. So, like, in war, when your weapon runs out, I don't know if they tell you not to. You're not supposed to use the enemy's weapons, I thought.
I don't know. I think that's why they made bayonets, right?
Yeah.
Just poke them.
Just shankity shank.
Oh, speaking of bayonets, in this
Your gun
episode-
runs out, just go to the pepper spray.
In this episode, they, the Sithal side of the war or whatever, they all have, of course, lightsabers. But it's like a laser tag type thing. Like, they just have to like boop you, like just barely touch you on the end. Well, in the reenactment, anyhow. But then Fry has a fucking lightsaber as a bayonet, which is retractable. So he like launches it out. And
I
then,
thought
like,
that was his gun.
He has an actual bayonet on there.
They have muskets and then bayonets. Yeah.
oh, I thought the lightsaber was like a lightsaber bayonet.
That flew out of the musket.
Oh, did it? Okay, that was like his actual
they
shot.
reeled it back in.
Yeah,
I wonder if Hermes tabulated that as an extra cost.
I
Well,
feel
I
like
mean,
that was in there.
But he has like,
Bureaucrats.
but wouldn't he have like unlimited shots with that thing if he can reel it back in?
It's a video game.
It's a cost
Have you
saver.
guys ever been to a reenactment?
No.
I don't think I have.
Does anybody know if they do them at Gettysburg?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
had-
fucking do them.
Yeah, just a couple of years ago was the 150th anniversary, and they had the largest reenactment ever.
That's
there,
right.
and the largest number of people.
My station covered it, I think.
Was-
Yeah.
I mean, that was that was 5 years ago now?
Sounds about right.
1863.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
5 years ago.
I know a lot about the Civil War, never been to a reenactment.
That explains the beard.
That's, yeah. There's something about, like, I don't understand
Colonel
the grown men who feel the need to reenact real things that happened.
Yeah, I don't get that. Occasionally, you just like shoot, fall down. That was a
Have
fun
you
day.
been to this, the Gettysburg tours, the walks? No, none of you have. All right, so I had to go for my job.
No, I did,
Yeah.
when I was a
No.
kid, I did the ghost tour.
I've done the
Yeah,
ghost tour.
completely different than the day during the day fucking 2-hour walk through July weather in the middle of Gettysburg. Which, not fun, not at all. No, and I will never go again.
Sounds so realistic.
It is terrible. It is fucking terrible.
I will say, you think that's bad. You do not know tedium until you have gone on the Eisenhower farm tour.
I did that. Yeah, been there.
Jesus. Why would you? Who? I'm sorry. I know you're a history buff.
This was not my choice. I was a kid. My parents were like out of town for something. Went to stay with my grandparents in Dover. And they knew that I was like a big Civil War buff, so they took me to Gettysburg one day.
Oh god.
And to this day, I have no fucking idea what my grandfather was thinking when he thought, I'll take my 8-year-old grandson on the Eisenhower farm tour. That was the longest 3 hours of my young life.
So when I did it, I was 30, and I chose to do it. And halfway through, I was like, "What the hell did I just do?" Jesus! Like, okay, it's a farm. We get it.
Should have had a couple
This
drinks.
is the chair where he sat.
Tell me something interesting. I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah, it's like going to Joseph Priestley house. It's just as exciting.
The only thing I've ever done is the car tour in Gettysburg, like with a CD or whatever.
You haven't done the bike tour?
No.
No. You'd
Yeah,
probably like that.
Got to do the Segway tour. That's where the cool kids hang out.
The
I always see
Segway tour?
I see people riding those things around in Gettysburg. I don't want any part of that.
Last time I was down there, we did the Jenny Wade house at night.
Oh, that's probably cool.
Yeah, the girl, the civilian that died.
Yeah.
And so they take you in the basement. When we were there, Penn State has a group of ghost hunters that were on like
Oh,
a TV show, Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
They were in there with all this scientific equipment, all these doodads that show you that nothing's happening. And every like hour or so, they turn off. You're there for like 3 hours, just hanging out in a fucking basement. They turn off the lights, and you go and you tour this room. And they turn you focus toward the mirror, and they turn off the lights. Did you see anything? Like no, nobody saw anything. And at one point, they're like, "Okay, everybody, get out your cell phones. Now we're going to turn off the lights. Take as many pictures as you can. When you get home, look at them. You'll be amazed what you see."
What, dust particles floating around that people think are fucking ghost orbs?
Yeah, but I mean, they even had whatever the paranormal, that thing that.
K2 meter.
Yeah, they had one of those and all kinds of shit wired through this house, and we have to do it at midnight. It's the nighttime tour. They do a day one, but the basement one is midnight tour.
Whoever came up with the idea for ghost hunting equipment is running the greatest scam on earth.
Yeah, best capitalist ever.
Well, when their spirits are nearby, it just gives off an electromagnetic field, and you
it
can
does.
pick it up using a meter.
Tell us more.
No, there's some guy living in a fucking castle right now who's just like, guys, I just sold some idiot a 9-volt battery and a carbon rod for $3,000.
That's about right. Yeah.
All right. Well. So, James, whenever there's silence, you should bring our other guest in.
It doesn't work on me!
Yeah, exactly.
We're alienating all the believers here. You know that, right? And we already made comments about gun control. We're cutting your audience in half right
We
now.
do that every week.
Okay.
Look, we mostly have Australians, and they have severe gun laws. So,
Should we go to a rant?
Real quick, so we can collect ourselves. Before you do, where were we in the episode?
We're like
2 minutes in.
Yeah,
not very far.
Okay, all right, well, let's go to the rant. Go to the rant.
Plan is to sell you on destroying yourself and your family and loving death and turning off your survival mechanism and destroying your family so the state and the computer robot age can corner every last one of you and slowly suck the life force out of you into the black of deep space.
I feel happier having heard that.
I feel like a better man.
Somebody
the
said
best
that on
free
national
app.
TV for a moment.
This is the last time I'm going to mention this, but the person that you were arguing with last night loves that.
I believe that.
Like, listens
Seriously?
to that man. Yes.
Oh, my
Reads his website, buys shit from his store,
Are
like
fucking kidding?
iodine, bottled waters. And
They're putting fluoride in your water!
You know what I'm talking about.
yes, they are. And look how much better your teeth are.
Exactly. I haven't had a cavity in years. So, we are only 2 minutes into the episode.
Yeah.
What?
The professor dies.
Yeah, well,
it seems like he dies.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
whole Sith War thing, like I'm not even gonna lie, I was waiting for that to get into the meat and potatoes of the episode,
Right.
where we find out Bender is not immortal.
Yeah.
I do like the jokes at the beginning.
But yeah, that's the whole point there, is you have to introduce that he thinks he's immortal,
Yeah.
and he has to have this way to proclaim that,
And
so
even
that-
Amy's like, well, why are
Have
you
a
always
turn.
screaming and yelling when there's danger? It's just,
He's like, I never said I'm not a drama queen.
exactly. Perfect Bender. Oh, they're putting me in my Sunday suit and they're putting me in the ground. Like, just
Yeah.
making fun of it the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, that was a weird introduction to the episode, though. You start off with something, totally off base. And that's
Yeah.
the best thing about cartoons, right?
I mean, that's sort of, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but that the first act of most of these episodes has nothing to do with, like, the core plot. I don't know. The inception of hilarity, I suppose, is a good way to say it. It's just like, it could be anything. And the best example that I have is, there's one Simpsons episode when they Homer and Marge get a tennis court, but the episode starts, they're planning for Grandpa's funeral. As they're like touring, they find the one, like, the guy tells them this mausoleum has as much concrete in it as an Olympic-sized tennis court. Cut to the next scene, they're getting the tennis court installed, and Homer just says, "Yep, bet you didn't see that coming."
That's every Simpsons episode, though. That's the best part about the Simpsons, and that's where this comes from. I think it's the same creative team.
I do think that's pretty standard, like, animated show writing at this point, though. Like, whether it's like Futurama or Family Guy or whatever, I think the first act usually is like not nonsensical, but it doesn't necessarily connect in any meaningful way to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, it's a nice
I
little
think that's
intro.
pretty typical.
Yeah, I mean, the first act is just to get you from point A to point B. You need that inciting incident that gets you to...
Well, you say that, but some of the other animated shows we watch, for instance, like Rick and Morty, seems pretty coherent the whole way through.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when you said that. But
Like it always has to do with what's going on. And you're a fan? Are you a fan of Rick and Morty?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
all right.
I'm an adult who loves all cartoons.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah.
Regular
Well,
TV.
welcome to the club
People
here.
active now. Give me anime.
Or even James and I's one of our favorite shows, The Venture Brothers. Always the story is basically always.
It's a terrible show.
You are such a terrible person. What is Exactly, Alex.
Yeah, Adventure Bros is pretty good.
I watched the first episode a couple times.
You just don't want to push through, and then you tell me to watch shows like The 100.
Or the Good
it's
Place.
amazing.
I enjoy
The Good Place is fucking great.
Good Place is an amazing show.
terrible.
The
They're
peanut
all-
gallery is shaking their head. She
Shut
doesn't.
your murderous fat mouth.
We're gonna have fun with that all show. That's gonna be all of it.
Well, and James even said The Good Place gets better in season 2. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen any of it yet.
I thought the first, I think I saw 4 or 5 of them, and I thought, I spent enough time on this. I'd rather just do anything else.
I loved it.
That all makes sense.
This one over here was like just making fun of it the whole time.
Because it's
And
terrible.
like guessing everything that was about to happen perfectly.
You're ruining the show!
At least we know which one picked out the cool rug, right?
Yeah.
That's your rug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in this house has good taste.
Yeah. What, you thought Suds would buy a rug?
Yeah, I've owned rugs.
That was like the weirdest thing to get defensive about.
I had a rug once.
Listen, motherfucker, I have good taste in rugs.
Didn't have a bathroom mat for years, but I've had rugs.
Getting a lot accomplished on the podcast today.
Yeah, as we always
Tell us more
do.
about your
That's the
rugs.
point. Yeah.
I got a rug on clearance from Pier 1 one time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On
Pier
clearance, ooh.
Yeah.
To jump ahead in the episode, I don't know if anybody noticed all the good rugs in Inspector Five's place in Mexico.
Oh, well, I saw
Yeah,
the one hanging on the clothesline,
right,
which
since
was
we're in
pretty cool.
conversation
And actually
here.
not, I mean, different than Elise's rug, but like reminiscent in a way, at least with the
Some
colors.
southwestern.
It was
there,
more,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah.
that's what.
I mean,
Made
it's
in
the same fibrous material as, Elise and I's ponchos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, your drug rugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rug. Oh my god. Well, there's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys noticed the Adobe Photoshop towards the end.
Shoppy.
Shopping, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There was a lot of little shit going on in the background that I was noticing.
The one that I noticed this time that I don't know how I missed it, but Mexico's silver medal winner of the Mexican-American War.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that was a nice wall.
But you know what?
too.
Putting a positive spin on it.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Everybody else
Thank you
notice
for
the
bringing
wall?
that up. I was
Yeah, I
going to
wonder
say
who
something
paid for
about
That was
yeah.
a beautiful wall.
It was. It was spectacular wall.
Bigly great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we know who paid for it.
No, years ago, they
Mexico
called
paid
the wall.
for it.
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought China
One way or
paid for
another.
it.
Probably
China
made in
paid
China.
for shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's all stupid.
It's never going to happen, guys.
Of course it's going to happen. 'cause
There's
the-
not going to be a wall. Don't be ridiculous.
Somebody write that down. Put the date on it.
Yeah, that I said there isn't
going
going to be a wall.
Later podcast. Dave
Jeez.
quotes. There's never going to be a
There's
wall.
not going to be a wall.
There-
Well, now they're
never-
arguing. Now they're arguing semantics over like whether they meant a physical wall or not, and like all these fucking Trump
You see
supporters
what I
and
mean?
defenders
Yeah.
are being like, "Well, of course he didn't mean a physical wall." Meanwhile, Trump's out there saying like, "I want a physical wall. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to stretch the entire fucking border." And then
He
his
wants-
like, then
he
his
wants-
spokespeople are like, "No, of course he doesn't mean a physical wall going across the entire thing. There's mountains. There's natural borders. There's rivers." But no, he is a fucking moron, and he said, "I want a physical wall
And
covering
we're
the
here.
entire."
Now
border."
we're here.
Where's
This
the
is
soundboard?
where we are. This is where we are.
There was a video from a while, a long time. It seems like a long time. It was actually probably like 11 months ago. But
It does seem like a long time, doesn't it?
it's when he was still it was still when he was on the campaign trail and he's talking about the wall and just like, we're gonna build it so high, like how could you get over? I guess a ladder would probably work. But then when you get up there, how are you gonna get down? I guess you could use a rope. He defeats his own argument in the fucking speech. I'm just like, and people cheer for it. I'm just like, how fucking stupid are you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
He tells it like it is. Tells it like it
Is
is.
that what they keep saying? They keep saying that. I don't
Oh,
think
he's
he's
so
telling
real.
you. I don't
So
know if they
real.
know what that means.
Well, you listen to the fake news. That's why you don't get it.
Of course I listen to fake news.
If you're not listening to Prison Planet or Infowars, then you're
It's a
you're
fake
fucking
news.
brainwashed. Yeah.
Wait, is
Do you
Fox?
understand?
Is Fox considered fake news now? Because they
No, because they're dictating they're dictating everything that Trump says. He watches Fox and Friends every morning, and then he fucking tweets about it, and then he goes and signs executive orders based on what Brian Kilmeade tells him to do.
Oh my god,
It's fucking insane.
Eats 2 Big Macs or whatever. Yeah.
but he's in perfect health.
Oh,
Remember
absolutely. And it's same.
239 pounds, 6'2".
for his age. Yeah,
Yeah.
his cholesterol is wonderful.
Bet.
All right,
Yeah,
now
I got-
that we've gotten far off topic.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna take it further too. Let's bring it back.
He's exactly the same height and weight as many professional football players,
You're not going to stop this downward spiral, are you?
and yet he looks like
a doughy fart.
a shitty balloon that's like failing. It's filled with sand and
All right,
it's
I'm
just
out.
like bubbling
I
around.
feel like you guys both just described the same thing though. Like a doughy fart is a shitty balloon.
The dummy fart was actually an excellent description. You didn't need to further it.
Yeah.
He looks like he's been dragged through clay.
Yeah. Orange mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys bring us back to the show. I'm done.
Do you remember
We got
when?
some notes.
So
yeah.
They can't find Inspector Number 5. Bender immediately goes into what appears to be a suicide booth. Hermes tries to stop him, but he's like, "It's not a suicide booth. It's a phone booth. I'm gonna make a phone call." I love Hermes. He's like, "Oh, you can make phone calls from a phone booth now? Well, I don't have to lug around this cell phone anymore." Just throws it in the garbage can.
That would be better for you, though.
What?
Not having a cell phone.
Oh, so I don't crack the screen
Yeah,
every
every
time I get
fucking time you get a new.
Not having a new cell phone every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I told him he needs to get that Teflon coating on the front.
Get
That'd have
one of
been.
these, Drop it. Doesn't break.
I got like the cheaper version of that.
And what happened?
It broke.
There you go.
James, let me see your notes. Or somebody's notes.
I only wrote down 5
Okay.
things, and they're all useless. Fry said at one point, thanks to
I
denial.
handed you the wrong papers.
No, that's actually one of my favorite quotes in this whole episode because I feel like that might be me sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut
Thanks.
your murderous fat mouth.
Wait, what quote?
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Fry
Right in the
says,
face.
Fry says, thanks to denial, I'm immortal.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I live in denial, so I love that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Every day,
Yeah,
all the time.
right.
I think I've even said that around you guys. Thanks to denial, I'm immortal.
You probably said it.
No, you say dumb shit too.
Yeah, but at least I didn't try to do the impression and fail
I
miserably.
didn't try and do the
I don't
impression. I can't do Fry's voice.
know. It doesn't stop you from doing anybody else's voice.
No, it doesn't. But why not? I can't do Stephen Nipple's voice either.
It's amazing how often this
Nobody
train
can.
derails.
Nobody can.
It's like model. Lawyer that play model
What was the
trains
one that we came up?
every 20 seconds?
Oh, it's your mom.
Yeah, my mom.
What?
We have an impression of my mother.
Oh, I'd like to hear this.
Yeah, James is the one who does it. Makes complete sense,
That's
right?
pretty good.
Wait,
I understand.
aren't you also the one who's doing the impression of my dead grandmother?
Yes, I
Was
think
I?
that, I think that was him,
I think that
actually.
was when we were still at Shady's.
Oh,
Oh my god, I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, my grandma Dorothy. Yeah, I don't even remember how it sounded. It was very rude.
Michael!
Yes, that was
Michael!
yeah.
She used to smoke 3 packs a day.
Michael, you're a huge disappointment. You moved to Harrisburg. You didn't even consider Reading. What, you want me to die like this?
Jesus. Sorry, Grandma.
Shut up.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
All right, so what's your next note there, Eric?
My next note is that Leela's reading a book called World's Bravest Hamsters, which is a lot further along in the episode.
Oh, when
But-
she becomes a
There was
little
also
bird
She's a
cat.
bureaucrat. Yeah.
There was another funny book, Cactus Fancy.
Yeah, the border guard was reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican, he's Mexican too. Just that whole interaction.
See?
What does he say? What does the border
He
guard
says, "Give me your papers.
Say it for us.
Dame sus papeles."
Thank you.
See?
But his reaction, I would have accepted a bribe as well.
Yeah.
Okay, is that how you get into Mexico? That easy?
I think that's pretty much what it takes. Yeah.
Well, we completely glossed over their earlier visit to the central bureaucracy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because
Cubicles.
yeah.
Rubik's
Oh,
cubicles.
Jesus Christ. Well, so Hermes thinks. Wait, what is doing?
The speaker's
Okay.
on the bottom of the phone.
No. Continue.
What did you do?
I turned it off. Continue. Continue.
I'm angry!
Well, so Hermes, since he's a bureaucrat, of course, he goes along. We talked about that a little bit. But so, yeah, they go to, what's it called? What's the central bureaucracy?
That is it.
Okay.
The central
That's right.
The cubicles were the Rubik's cubicles, right?
Yeah, because Hermes has a cubicle there for, what does he say, weekend getaways.
Yeah.
Of course, Hermes would go on the weekend to continue working in a cubicle.
Bureaucrat.
But yeah, this fucking cube of cubicles it doesn't work. I mean, while it's like, Hermes like dials into the computer to get it to rotate around and present his cubicle so they can go into it. There's thousands of cubicles here, and they're spinning, and like people actually get ejected from them, just launched. That was Bender's favorite part of it, by the way.
I like the people screaming.
Continue.
But there was a weird Hollywood Squares like reference, which I didn't really get. And you said it was.
I love it.
You said it was Paul Lind.
I think it's Paul Lind.
Okay.
Someone look that up because
See,
I think that's the character.
That name Paul Lind sounds familiar, but I
I'm
don't
thinking
know
Paul Rand.
who that is.
Oh, Paul Rand.
Rand. Is that his name? Or no, Rust. Paul Rust.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought when you said that.
Yeah,
From
Love.
one of the best shows of all
I
time.
fucking hate him.
Really?
Hate him. And I hate that show. It's
Oh,
terrible.
that's definitely him.
I'm
Paul
looking
Rand.
right at you, Peanut Gallery.
Oh, wow, you're right. Yeah.
No, it was terrible in the
Yeah.
beginning. You just didn't want to accept it.
No, it was good and it got bad.
I actually loved season 2 up until like the last 3 episodes, and then it got a little, not a little, a lot ridiculous and unbelievable. But I liked it in the beginning, like when things were going well, but then as everything just unraveled, it got fucking absurd.
You know what? I'm not getting into this because we've gotten into it before. No.
It's a great show.
No. It's
Looking forward to season 3.
Oh my goodness.
That's Paul Lind.
Oh shit.
Now everyone's got them.
Do we
So-
have a Paul
Alright,
Lind
I'm done.
soundboard?
So is he like some?
Yeah, apparently there's one.
Is he some old
It's on the
school
internet.
Hollywood
Ask Google
Squares guest? Or?
Yeah, this picture's got to be from like the 80s.
How long was?
Did you guys watch that when you were growing up?
Well, it was
I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, pretty frequently.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, he died in 1982. So.
Oh wow.
So he makes sense. He'd be alive in the year 3010.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a relative.
Hey, can I admit something to you guys?
I mean, you're gonna. It sounds like.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I think I grew up watching Hollywood Squares, and I thought it was cool. I don't know, I was 10 or 12 years old. There's celebrities or comedians or whatever on there. I didn't really know necessarily who these people were, but I enjoyed watching it. And but I could never understand how the game worked, because I would always get confused because they would be circle gets the square, and I couldn't I could never figure out what that meant for years.
This is why you don't know anything.
I like to think you're asking right now to finally get an explanation on this.
Oh no, I get it now, but maybe you could explain it to my 12-year-old self. No,
I
but
understand things.
But
guys.
for real, I would always get fucking confused. I'd be like, wait, circle, but where's the square? I didn't understand, okay, that it's fucking Hollywood Squares, I get it now, but it took me a long time. I watched that show for years and I was confused.
That's when Mike knew he was a man.
Who let you into college?
What is circle gets the square in Spanish?
Oh, God.
We're making you work for it today.
Okay.
I wish you did this whole thing in Spanish.
I'm a little drunk now. I don't know
Yeah.
what circle means.
Oh God.
Wait, what the fuck is it?
I don't know.
Does anybody know what circle is in
No,
Spanish?
absolutely.
I know that Gordo Gato means fat cat. Does
Yeah.
that help?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh my god, what is circle? I don't know what it is.
Rolero?
No. I don't think I ever learned that word in my
That'll never come in handy
Yeah.
if you to speak Spanish.
It doesn't work on me!
That's gonna drive me crazy.
Good.
No,
glad I
I'm
started
hating
something.
every second of
I
it.
love
But
thought-provoking things. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say anything.
Yeah, you barely know square circle in English.
Yeah.
Apparently. Squares are
Squircle.
Yeah. I had a lot of Bloody Marys.
so we're all inebriated at this point. It
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
like alright.
It's whole shape.
Yeah. Round.
Round. The next note that I have just says file not found of Puget Sound.
Hermes exclamation.
Yeah.
The whole time that they're at the central bureaucracy, though, we don't really see it until later, but it's like it becomes apparent that Hermes is kind of leading Bender around by the nose.
Yeah.
Like he's only seeing what Hermes wants him to see while they're there.
Intentionally knocking him out.
Yeah. I don't know that they showed this at the very end, how he falsified the computer records when they first get to his cubicle in the cube. In the rotating cube.
No,
Yeah.
they don't show that. They show the hard copy
Yeah.
part where he just pulls his file out.
What does Bender say? If I kick the asses of number 2 and number 3, maybe that'll work out the same.
Addition never solved anything.
4, 6.
You sound just like my tax attorney. But this is... Well, you brought this up earlier when he's going to what we thought is a suicide booth. And turns out to just be an ordinary phone booth. Which seems really convenient. I mean, I don't know why they don't actually have those. We gotta wait till the year 3000 to get phone booths.
Have you seen a payphone?
There actually still are some around Harrisburg.
You
Yeah,
occasionally
taking
find
away.
one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that we deal with at work is keeping track of payphones, and apparently the only people that use them are drug dealers.
Good.
You guys knew that? I was thinking of becoming a drug dealer because now I know that, but I don't have any drugs.
Well, you can also get burner phones, which are untraceable for the most part.
Gotta start them somehow. Gotta type in some information to turn it on.
But you gotta sell some drugs to get the money to get the phone in the first place. So
Okay.
until that happens...
This is a real chicken and the egg situation.
Well, with
What
our
comes first, the burner phone and the drugs?
Yeah.
great minds, we can figure it out. Maybe not right now.
And next week we'll be podcasting from federal prison.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Do you think
It's
they'll
like,
give us our equipment?
you know
today?
what? I have this quarter and also all this cocaine. So maybe I can start up a business here.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good startup.
Yes.
No, I still see payphones around occasionally. A lot of the more, we'll call them less reputable businesses in Midtown still...
Siervo's has, well, it's not, there's no payphone there, but they still have, like, the shell of a payphone.
And I'm talking about like Kennedy Fried Chicken still has a payphone.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Although I don't know if you guys have ever gone in there. Their chicken's not bad.
James has been there.
Yes, and I was so drunk. But when I remember going in, it didn't feel like a restaurant.
No, it's
It
like
felt like a flea market.
It's like a chicken gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicken gas.
Seriously, you can get 2 Lucy's and a drumstick.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it.
It's like I walk in, I want a mixed bucket and a 3-pack of undershirts.
Yeah, we got one blunt wrap and shirt.
I haven't been there,
But
so
the
I'm
chicken's
gonna
really
check
not
it out.
bad, especially if you stop in early.
I mean, it's fried chicken.
That's my
It's hard to
plug for the
fuck
week.
that up.
Check out Kennedy Chicken. Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
They just didn't feel like changing that sign.
Yeah. It's pretty uncreative. Like, let's just change a few letters. It'll
It's
be fine.
Kennedy Fried. It's not on Kennedy Street. No one who's ever been in there has been named Kennedy. It's just...
I always assumed it was for JFK.
Is that what it's a memorial chicken restaurant.
Yeah. It's respectful. I'm standing close.
But it was actually RFK that they named it for. So
Okay.
Oh, that makes more sense.
yeah.
Doesn't really.
Roosevelt, Franklin, Kennedy.
Yeah, those are all the wrong names.
Named him with some expectations, yeah.
What time are we at now?
41:05.
All right, let's take
Longer
a break.
Uh,
than we thought, but not a lot.
All right, so commercial.
Commercial.
All right, quick commercial.
Bye, everybody.
We'll be right back. Hi, this is the crew from the Planet Express Delivery Podcast.
Hello.
We are just, this
Oh,
is
hey.
a commercial break. This is a commercial break.
This is a commercial break.
But we'd like to inform you, if you'd like to support the show, we do have several ways that you can do that. The one in particular that we are going to tell you about today, I'm going to pass this off to James right now because he has all the information, but he will tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm the one who owns a computer.
Exactly.
Okay. So
The instructions, the notes that you have there look very simple, though. It just says, send vodka.
it says send vodka.
Yeah, to support us.
Yes, just support us. Please send vodka to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll find it. Don't worry.
Sure.
We always do.
But if you want a more direct way to support the show, we do have a merch store through the site TeePublic, who we're affiliated with. If you would like, go to our website, planetexpresspod.podbean.com. Click on the link in the episode description, and that'll take you directly to our merch page. Once you're there, we have dozens of designs for you to choose from. You pick the design you want, pick out t-shirt, hoodie, mug, laptop case, stickers, other things that I'm probably forgetting right
Jeez,
now.
No, that's a lot. I didn't realize we had that much even.
Oh, no.
But that's awesome. Now I'm going to go and check it out. Because
I'm going to
do
go buy
want-
some as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I will as
I
well.
think this sounds fantastic.
Okay, guys, you pushed that a little too far. I was trying to make it fun for everyone. Now it's not.
It
all
is
right?
this is the funnest thing I've ever heard.
Actually,
Now,
forget this plug. We're going to buy our own merch
We're
right
buying merch. Also, though, that is not the only way you can support us. As always, we do want to hear from you on our Facebook page and on all the places you can listen to our show, Podbean being our flagship.
You could maybe rate us on iTunes,
Oh, yeah.
which would be nice of
Yes,
you to
yes. We love hearing from and we do have email addresses, which we'll give at the end of the show.
now. But any support that you guys can throw at the show is much appreciated. We are a completely DIY endeavor, and we did not expect the show to be even as big as it is, whatever modicum of success we've been able to achieve.
Yeah, I don't think we
throughout
can
this.
measure it at any, not at this point.
But if you want, please do leave us a review in the iTunes store and check out our merch page on TeePublic. Again, go to planetexpresspod.podbean.com to click the link that will lead you there. And everything goes right back into supporting the show. We do not get paid for this.
No, we do not.
We lose money every episode that we do.
Technically, we'd all be bankrupt right now.
We're not, you're not already?
No, I have
I'm there.
not filed.
I am fully in the red.
Well, that explains why our studio looks like shit.
Hey, fuck you.
I've changed my identity 6 times since we started this show.
All right, so yes, if you need any more information, there is an email address we'll give at the end of the show, and please send us money.
Just loose money.
Loose change. We love it.
Sacagawea dollars.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, it's got an A,
It's
right?
lazy to ride my bike. I'm driving.
All right.
That works too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get the same stuff though.
How's it taste?
Right?
Taste good?
No?
No, not at all. Well, with Bloody Mary mix, it probably tastes wonderful.
Yeah, it's good with bloodies. I do that one, or I do. I think it's not absolute. The other one is Smirnoff makes citrus. It's like lemon and lime. Is real good with some Bloody Marys, but pepper. I was in.
You can really taste the pepper. Jeez.
Can I get anything else, guys?
I mean, what are we doing after this?
I'm gonna drink that bomb.
Oh, is this all clean?
My sister's gonna show up, so we're probably gonna get drunk.
I'm gonna get food. By the way, we are recording.
I know.
Okay, just so you're aware.
I was talking shit about you guys this whole time. I hope you get to listen to that in editing.
Man.
Well,
I wasn't
will.
recording.
Goddamn Dave.
I wasn't
Oh, no.
recording while you were doing that.
Oh, well, damn. Then why waste my
I
time?
was just, just mentioning that. Yeah, like, let me.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Yeah, make that a little more comfortable for everybody.
Gosh. So, Mike, I have to ask before we get back into this. Do you share a back porch? Is that how it works?
Oh, God. Do you really want me to get into it?
How about the brief explanation?
They think we do.
Okay. That's a good enough answer. I noticed somebody was just walking back and forth out there, and I thought, are we getting robbed? Like,
Yeah,
what's
so
happening?
no, I'm going to tell you. Here's what fucking happened, all right? So I moved in
Record
here.
this.
Elise moves in. Two people move upstairs. It's a second and third floor. It's beautiful up there. The landlord showed it to me. Anyhow, two, very quiet neighbors who are never fucking here. We never hear anything, right? Then, at around Christmas, all of a sudden they've got, what I assume are guests, people visiting or whatever. No. Turns out
Squatters.
Oh my god.
Turns out they didn't tell the landlord, and they just had two more people move in with 3 fucking dogs.
So it is 2 people.
Yes, it's another couple.
Jesus.
That would drive me
And-
crazy.
And the one guy that moved in is smoking constantly on what I consider to be our back porch. Has his dogs shitting in the backyard all the fucking time. So I emailed the landlord and I was like, "Hey, did someone new move in upstairs?" I knew they didn't say anything. He was like, "No, it should just be a couple." And they said that every once in a while they have a coworker staying with them. Why? I was like, "Well, it seems to me like there's 4 people living up there now with 3 dogs." I was like, was surprised because I know that you just renovated everything, and I didn't imagine that you would want 3 dogs living up there. He's like, "No, you're right. They would have to ask for permission. Thanks for letting me know." But that was only a few days ago, and I haven't heard anything. I'm just hoping he fucking kicks him out because it's fucking frustrating. My back porch, I don't go out back anymore because I don't want to see this idiot. He seems like a fucking idiot.
I want to say
Don't
snitches get stitches, right?
I don't care.
But they have a porch upstairs.
They sure do.
And they also have
A second stairway to get down.
Shit ton of fucking grass
Mm-hmm.
behind the gated area
Mm-hmm.
where they could take their dogs.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily understand why maybe it's just convenient for him to come down through.
He seems like a fucking weirdo. I don't know.
All right.
I'll tell you what, though. If I were living on the second floor of a house where I have 2 exits, one goes onto the first floor's back porch, and the other one actually goes to the backyard, I would never go down the one that goes to the other person's back porch.
Yeah, I would
who
also
lived there
never
before I
do
lived
that.
there. I would never. I would use the other exit and entrance.
You're a flaming fascist.
But no, this asshole comes down here and he constantly comes down here. He's waltzing around smoking on. He's always yelling on his phone about something, and he's got his dog shitting in my backyard, in my fenced-in backyard.
I would start walking up and poop on his porch.
So that's why I ran.
You guys need to get table out there and shit.
That's
get a
Eric's-
fireplace.
Eric's gonna help us with that because
You may be able to have that glass
fireplace.
table we have too. I don't know if Lauren wants that or not. She
Oh.
left it there. I don't.
We would take it. That's a very nice table.
Set everything up.
like wicker. You can have.
I
Make it-
wanted to do that before anybody even moved in up there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
when I
yeah.
first moved in, there was no one up there for
Yeah,
at least a month. But
Yeah, start putting chairs in
we
front
didn't
of
have
it.
any extra money.
You got to make it uncomfortable. For them.
I know.
You
You're
know,
right.
like-
You're right. Yeah.
Get a little floor mat that says "fuck you." Just put it on the back door there.
Yeah, no, we can
So
get
they
you not welcome. Fucking,
Yeah.
I'll get you like a chain of bullets too. You can hang up. Like you can seem
band
like
of the
a
year.
crazy person. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like
Well, what sucks is that the 2 people who initially moved in were very nice and, like I said, quiet, and they were never here.
Yeah,
but these other 2 people that moved in
well,
were
I don't know.
fucking
Can they
idiots.
hear us fucking shouting and
I
yelling?
don't
I
care.
hope so.
I don't care.
All right,
Does
all
that
right.
door
Well,
go to like them?
No, that goes to the basement. But I mean,
Oh,
you
so
can.
their stairs go right above that.
Yes.
Okay, because I thought I heard.
That's where Mike found his toaster.
Really?
Yeah, we threw that away.
You got a little basement toaster.
It was a toaster oven, but yeah.
nice.
Then we finally got a microwave and an actual toaster.
I got popcorn for you. I
Oh, that's
forgot about
right.
that.
Yeah.
well, that's
All right, this is all stuff that we can rant about later when we're drunk at the bar.
Well, no, it's funny to hear our little bullshit. Anyways, in between, I just kind of wanted to go over some of James's notes. he had actually. This is what I wanted. This is right on top of what I wanted to. A pile of dead bears.
Pile of dead bears can only mean one thing, but what?
Which, when I initially watched the episode, I was like, why is there a pile of dead bears?
It's a great setup because what could a pile of dead bears mean?
Apparently the 1020 train to Mexico, I guess. I don't know.
I like that it's exclusively there that bears are crossing the train tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes most sense.
Into just a heap of bear carcasses. Carcai. I don't know.
Carcai. Yeah, that works.
Well, this, after that, I'm going to leave that where it was. That was good. After that, when they're on the train, this is kind of all... It was somewhat lazy, because I feel like with Hermes in the episode, they do this on purpose, like the Jamaican, jokes.
Steel drums, steel drum bullets. Yeah.
Oh, all we have to do is limbo. Like, of course that's going to be... I mean, they did set it up nicely, like when they're on top of the thing. Oh, just have to limbo. Bender goes, I can't do that without limbo music. Like... All right.
There were 2 limbos in this episode, though, so you could tell it was a Hermes-based episode.
Well, I think that's why they included it, because they had to set it up for later when he limbos out of the wreckage of his former home.
Yeah.
They even, I don't even want to, they end the episode with a Hermes pot smoking joke.
Yeah. I smoked a lot of papers in my day.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right, so here we are. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that was good. I immediately thought, I wish I had a joint.
I could feel that coming from that side of the room. I was like, I'm pretty sure somebody wants to get high in this room right now.
Yeah, I don't smoke pot enough anymore.
It was me.
That's another thing, too. We get some Zoidberg in this episode.
Very little Zoidberg. The best, although he has a great line early on. He's just like, what is the so you wish you were never born, maybe? Bender, he comes back. This is actually pretty good. Anything less than immortality is a complete waste of time. I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, that's about right.
And it's like, what's the point of doing any of this shit? That's a very nihilistic view to take on things, sure.
What's wrong with that?
But he's just,
who cares what's wrong with
then step into my office. I'll give you a nice Kevorkian.
Clack, clack.
Clack, clack.
You call that an ink defense?
He rips off all his clothes. So all he's wearing is those jelly flip-flops, and he's got his fucking cockatiel.
Yeah, he's got his
up.
Crocs on.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Zoidberg's good.
Which
did you guys already do the episode where he's mating?
That's what. But
that was a while ago, right? Yeah, that was a good one.
That reminded me, Eric. There's a reference in this episode to an earlier episode where they go to the bureaucracy. Remember when Bender gets his personality taken away?
Yeah.
You remember the old guy who's in line?
He's on a scooter.
No, different. When they get in line to enter the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
There's an ancient man waiting in line. He's like, yeah, it's probably going to be a while. I've been here since I was born.
Oh,
yeah.
The
guy that applies for the death certificate?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's the same fucking dude.
I'm still waiting on my birth certificate.
Oh, the central bureaucracy.
Well, we see a few characters. We see the Beholder, I think that's what they call him.
Yeah.
The Eye Monster, who's just like floating. Don't tell my boss I was sleeping.
But you brought up, we do see the Bureaucrat 1.0, but he's just on like a random little like hover scooter in the halls.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out.
Floating by.
Just bureaucratizing around.
Bureaucratizing.
And so that episode already happened too, right? You went through the one where Hermes like dropped some rank and
that's
new bureaucrat.
I had another question about that. What rank is her? He's 36 in this.
36 was I thought he was
36 was his original number. and then he got fired, and then demoted, and then promoted, and then I think demoted again.
Yeah, because the woman who replaced him missed a stamp, the fourth stamp on Form 27A or something like that.
I was young and reckless.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Morgan, that's it. I did like that character.
Yeah, she was a good one.
Yeah. It was random, but still funny because it involved Fry. I'm a big advocate of Fry episodes.
Yeah.
Just because he's a ding dong.
It's still like, 2 of the quotes are down are Fry, and I thought because they were great, they were perfect Fry, but that was all he said the whole time. That was he was going.
Yeah, Fry was not in this episode a lot at all.
No,
not really. No.
Must have been on vacation when they recorded this.
Are those done?
Yeah. What do you mean?
They're not mushy on
No, they're baking right now.
They're still a little mushy, but they're better than they were. Yeah.
All right.
But like,
Just making sure. Thanks for the peanut gallery
trying to
comment.
help.
Well, you
Trying to help. You asked.
You've
Would
been
you
trying to
like one?
avoid being funny the whole episode. Now you want to be funny. What is this?
I've never been funny my whole entire life.
Eric?
Oh, then you'll fit right in on this podcast.
There's a picture of my nieces.
I'm good. Random things. What's in my pockets today?
That's something, eh? See? There we go. My nieces with Santa.
But when they get to Mexico, and this is where Dave's favorite joke comes into play.
I do love it.
It's Adobe Photoshoppy. And I'll pronounce it Shoppy. They know how they spelled it.
It's shop.
Yeah.
Look, even that, the joke after it, where they...
Why do you have a Medicine Shoppy t-shirt?
Shopping.
Okay, so you should probably get a picture of this so
I got
people know
you.
what we're talking about. But I have a Medicine Shoppy t-shirt because I found it in a thrift store like 10 years ago. And when I was growing up, my grandfather owned a medicine shop in Greenville, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, Greenville.
Yeah, and my mom and I would always go see him there.
That's where
Where
Alan
you get our
Green was born.
prescriptions.
Alan Green? In Greenville?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, from Greenville.
Am I kicking you or the table?
I think you kicked both that time.
I think it was the cat. Oh, no, the cat's over there.
He's doing whatever.
Yeah, he's watching.
Oh, the terrible joke about Tijuana where they throw the rock and it's basically, oh yes, this is Tijuana.
Just
Is
on
it-
the outskirts of Tijuana.
Is it in the city limits?
Yes, I think. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It makes sense.
Yeah.
I like Bender's quote, and that when they were running there, it's, I can't run anymore. I'll have to skip.
Oh yeah, that fucking cracks me up. But then he only skips for like 2 seconds, and then it cuts to them running away again later,
Yeah.
and he's just running. I really wanted to see him skipping again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
hang on. I've been going through the Alex Jones soundboard app. I found one
Oh, okay.
God.
that just says unknown noises.
Can we?
Should we see what this is?
Let's.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, is that it?
Apparently.
That was
I
weird.
thought it was gonna be longer than that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You see my bike up front, my red Specialized bike.
Let's
on
now.
Porsche.
Now. All right. Well, where were we?
All right.
Where we're coming close to the end of the
All right.
actual
Bye.
episode. I mean, I know we jumped around a lot, but we talked about a lot of the funny stuff we enjoyed in the episode. I would say.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Did we though? Really?
Yeah, for the most part, we did.
We glazed right over most of the episode, actually. I think we spent a lot of this time either talking about Alex Jones or Suds' neighbors.
That seems to be the new
Politics.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that seems to be the new normal.
Well, as long as that's
the
what
new
we're
normal.
doing, then I guess we did it appropriately.
We did it well, and we'll do
I won't
our
say well, I'll say appropriately.
we'll do our review at the end as always.
Okay.
And you're aware of the slurms. So
I've heard about slurms before. The
we'll
slurmies.
we'll do
Yeah.
our slurms before you do yours. So,
That sounds fair.
but let's try and talk about the last section of the show.
So yeah, we didn't get to the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Yes.
The heart of the episode.
Exactly, if
Yeah,
that's what you want to call it. I
yeah.
believe Suds does have some comments about the end of the episode, so we'll have to keep him.
He's pooping.
what?
He's pooping.
Are you going to poop?
No, I'm going to pee.
Suds is going to poop.
I actually pooped like 10 minutes ago. Though.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it stinks in here, buddy.
No, does it?
Light a match.
No, it's just that you were in there for like 20 minutes and ran the water the entire time.
God damn it! I'm trying to be sneaky.
Turn the fan on, man.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who noticed that, actually. I was just going to keep my mouth shut.
But they find what looks like a half-eaten cheese diaper in the garbage.
Yeah, it's a half-eaten cheese diaper.
What the fuck is that?
I don't want to know. The visual I had was some terrible thing that I can't even think about. I don't want to think about it. Who likes Gouda?
No.
I think that's the worst thing about kids, right? As they say, it's a lifetime reward, but diapers. Like, I don't want to have kids because of poop in a sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you should
clean cat litter
adopt.
boxes.
Adopt a kid that's like, I don't know, like 4 or 5.
See, I was thinking like 15. Then you got 3 years. You
From
give them like a
Somalia.
little bit of stuff, and then you're like, see ya.
War-torn country. They're angry as shit.
I might wait until I'm old and then adopt someone who's in their like mid-20s.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You might as well
somebody
just
that needs a
be-
father figure.
Be a big brother. then.
Like I can still, like I'm old, I can still impart wisdom onto you,
Yeah.
but I also don't have to deal with your shit. You already have a job and an apartment and a car. Just come visit me on Christmas, we'll be fine.
Well, and when they're that age, you can talk to them first. So you can be more selective. Like you get a 3-year-old, they might be a dick, you know. At least if they're like 20, you can sit down for an hour and be like, all right, I'll take you. That's fine, you know.
You seem cool. I could drink with you in a year.
Yeah. The other one like, no, next. All right.
Yeah.
You're cool. Let's
Yeah.
go get a beer.
Select, just like a checklist.
Right. That's how it
So
works.
who is your favorite football team? The Jaguars? Get out.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
You didn't know because you disappeared.
I went.
You had to
Welcome
poop
back
again.
to the podcast, friend.
Okay, fine.
But as we're kind of like getting towards the end of the episode, when they find Hermie's old house, this little like adobe shack that's set up, and I underappreciate how funny this is exactly when I watch this episode alone, but I think we all laughed at this when Bender is punching the wall, and then he
that
loses
was
steam, but
hilarious,
keeps
Yeah.
breaking the wall. It's
Pounds his head into it.
just for as long as that bit goes on for, it works so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah. Well, in that scene, Hermes is trying to sort of like talk him down.
Yeah.
Or, this is the end of the line, like, let's get out of here. And
But Hermes has been doing that the whole episode.
Well, sure.
He's
Yeah.
been like trying to, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
Like,
But that doesn't tie back into the end, so you never really grasp that. You know, you see it happen, sort of, but
I have a
never makes
question.
sense as
I have
to
a question
why.
for you. What is Hermes' motivation for not wanting Bender to find out that he was Inspector Number 5?
Because Bender's mad at him.
Yeah,
Bender
he's gonna
Bender
beat him
wants to
up.
kick the hell
you're
out
right.
of him.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. That's obvious. Sorry.
Yeah, he's even going to beat up number 2 and number 3 just to
Right.
make him feel better.
Well, but also Bender won't learn anything if he just knows it's Hermes.
But doesn't Bender also realize that if Hermes hadn't, or in his mind, if Inspector Number 5 hadn't saved him?
we don't see that. Let's
Oh,
keep that for the end.
Yeah, Jesus Suds, way to ruin the episode.
The thing is, like,
fuck you.
They call him Captain Spoiler.
Captain Spoiler.
Thank you.
Suds hasn't seen it.
Is that your theme song?
Oh,
So
it
wait,
should
so
be, yeah.
to better that, you just saw Roadhouse for the first time.
Yes.
A movie that was made in like 1986
Yes.
for the first time. It's almost as old as you,
I
which
also
is
saw Dirty Dancing for
old.
the first time.
Yeah, that's probably older than you, unbelievably.
Terrible.
No, Dirty Dancing I think was 85 and Roadhouse was 87.
Okay,
I
that's
think.
pretty close.
Something like
And
that.
you were born what? 74?
64.
Oh, right.
Excellent. Good to know.
Well,
Yeah, you see what I'm fucking talking about?
That's all I heard.
You should let Swen out. See if you attacks him.
Oh, Swen would beat the shit out of those little shitty dogs.
Yeah.
That was
Swen stared down, what was that Dalmatian, like Kyle's cousin?
Oh, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swen stared Lou down. Swen didn't fucking budge. The dog was like barking, like trying to get at Swen, and Swen was just like, Didn't fucking move.
Not
Hey, your
doing
neighbors
it.
on your back porch.
We should
I
get
know.
we should get Schwen and Virtue
Schwen?
and his name changes
Schwen.
every goddamn.
Sven.
I like Sven. It makes him seem exotic.
Yeah,
We should
exactly.
just get like a sled team of cats together.
Yeah.
Meow. Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
The most uncooperative sled team
is that
ever.
your Emily impression?
Meow meow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She
Thanks,
does
Em.
love herself some cats.
She does, yeah.
Anyway, before we get to like the end of the episode, does anyone have anything else about like the?
Mom, knitting a noose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
There was actually one joke we all laughed really hard at. I cannot remember exactly what it is.
I guess it wasn't that important.
No.
Yeah,
yeah,
apparently
must have
it
just
was
been
not
like-
Did
memorable.
we talk at all about the fact that once Bender reported himself as being
Defective.
Defective. Yes, thank
It's
you.
all right. You look
I
lost.
was totally a defective robot. Mom then from that point on, she's trying to destroy him. She
Yeah.
immediately sends a missile towards the
Dial
phone
bomb.
booth. Yeah,
Yeah, dial a bomb.
And
I
then-
think that's what we left at.
and then he's got the howitzer robots chasing him to Mexico.
Someone say
Yeah,
fire.
the Killbots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Mom doesn't really follow up on it that much.
Well, she
Well,
does.
Hermes
actually.
cancels it.
Yeah, Hermes.
They were
cancels
still
it.
blowing the house to bits when Hermes goes
Yeah.
in and
Hermes hacks in.
into.
Well, hacks in. He's
right,
the
'cause we're
inspector,
not-
so he has
Ah,
access.
you did it
Oh,
again.
sorry. God damn it.
That's all right. Do it more.
Okay, we always fucking spoil the episode like in the beginning. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, Hermes hacks in and cancels the order, and that's why they just stop and say, "Oh, Mom canceled the order." Did somebody say howitzer? And they blow each other up. So that. But I don't know if anyone noticed, the railroad was labeled as the Transcontinental Underground Railroad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Something about
Yeah.
that made me laugh. Probably wrong, but it did.
Yeah.
It's it's not racist if it's helping people.
Well, who's more wrong? The writers for writing it or Eric for laughing at it?
They have to do their job. My part, I would probably should have just tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Oh.
It struck me that hard. I wrote it on a piece of paper.
You're right.
Yeah. But this goes back to the Gettysburg thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, why were they underground for the entirety? Well, I assume they went from New York to the Mexican border
True. Yeah.
on a railroad,
Oh.
underground the entire time. What fucking mountain range traverses?
Well, this is 1,000 years into the future. We don't know what the tectonic plates have done. I mean, I'm sure there are models. But actually, Eric could probably tell us what
I don't
I
know
happened
anything.
I
geologically.
guarantee you
But-
there are models.
My question with this,
Earlier.
right, is they live in a time with spaceships. They can fly to the moon in a matter of seconds, and they're riding a train
It's
to
a
Mexico.
hover train.
Actually, I did want to make mention of that. It's not a traditional train. I mean, it's at least got like magnets or something because you
Yeah.
see it's got like those blue panels on
Like
as the
it's
track.
like
those
Disney
bullet
train.
trains. they
Yeah.
make.
Yeah, it's some sort of a
Monorail. Oh, that's wrong, cartoon.
Nah, close enough.
Conan O'Brien's best episode.
The Simpsons.
Yeah, didn't he write that? I think Conan
Did he?
wrote that one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Conan O'Brien.
I now appreciate Conan O'Brien a little bit more.
Oh, come on! How could you not already appreciate that?
I said more, not period.
Love Conan. Love him.
I
look
your
like him.
father. Yeah.
Scum!
Oh, Alex Jones doesn't like.
Liberal.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
God.
I'm a real man.
All right, so can we just finally get to the end of the episode?
All right,
We've tried
yeah,
so many
yeah,
times. We
let's-
might as well do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at the end of this episode, we find out. Alex, shut your dirty whore mouth. We find out.
Shut your murderous fat mouth.
Yeah, that's right. We find out that. Who wants to reveal? Who wants the big reveal?
Suds, you've done it twice.
No, I'm good.
We find
Drum roll,
out
please. Yeah.
that Hermes
Is Inspector number 5.
Yeah, and it all ties together really nicely, and they bring about that. What's my sister doing? they bring about that all this reason that Hermes has been trying to get at Bender off the trail is because he passed Bender as a baby because he didn't want to throw him in the trash.
Yeah, no, and I think that's really fucking sweet.
Yeah,
like
it was beautiful.
He saw what Bender, maybe he didn't see the complete picture of what Bender might have ended up as, but he was
Obviously
like,
not.
why am I going to trash this little robot?
Yeah, let's let him have his time. He may not be a billion years. Maybe he doesn't have a backup
It's
unit.
not immortality!
Which I don't know if we discussed that. The problem with Bender, I don't know if everybody out there knows, is that he was built without a backup unit.
Thank you
So
for mentioning
unfortunately,
What?
he cannot
Did we
download
just never
his
mention
we haven't
that?
touched it at all.
We
You know what we did?
we
Was
talked
we
about
skipped
it in
over
the
most of the
synopsis.
episode, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
skipped
yeah,
it.
okay. Maybe come up then.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it as thorough as we could have. But now that
Hang
we
on,
are-
viewers. My sister's outside.
Well, I like that the conclusion to the episode is just Bender. Let's get brick-faced.
Yes, that is actually one of my. That's why I love Bender.
You walk
That is
outside.
why
She's
I
early,
love
you'll see
Bender.
2026.
Let's get brick faced.
Big red
Give
bike
him a-
outside. All right.
Oh, you fucking want one finally?
Well, they're not poisoned, so I had to let you eat one first.
Oh, I see.
Suds is
But
the food
it's,
tester.
I mean, it's perfect. And we actually get another example of this in the next episode that we're going to talk about, which is, do you guys want to grab a six-pack and watch The End of the Universe?
God damn, I can't wait.
Every day of my life.
That's such a good episode.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I
But
would
the
have stayed
idea-
in the one planet or the one time.
The wrap-up to this episode is pretty, well, I guess the thematic wrap-up is pretty good, where it's like, yeah, there's, life's so full of uncertainty, so let's get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or
Well,
less.
that was the best thing about this episode, honestly. Is like, so partway through the episode, there's a couple of jokes. There's not a lot that really, stands out in this episode. But when you get to the end, it all ties together so well. It's like a well-written book. You ever read a book that just halfway through, it just sucks. And then you get to the end, and you're like, oh my god,
It was worth it.
that was good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I spent the time doing this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was love in the
One
time
more.
of cholera.
Oh God, why? Why would you do that?
I was so drunk.
Why would you do that?
But
Well, this is what drunk James does is because I want to be drunk, but I also still want to be an intellectual, so I have to fucking go on Amazon, and then like a week later I get a book and just like, what did I fucking buy?
I do that too. I get drunk and I realize, oh, now I got 10 more books. How did that happen?
Like, I'll read this.
Why do they charge $1 for books? How do they expect you not to buy a dozen of them? Like, Jesus.
Guys,
It's
you're
always-
killing
it
me. I
feels
buy
like-
random shit.
It feels like you're playing like Russian roulette with like literature, though,
Fucking credit
because I don't know what I buy when I'm drunk, and so it's
So I make the mistake of
so it's just like
Goodreads.
a package shows up, and I'm just like, oh man, I wonder what I got. Nah, fuck, it's another Quran.
Jesus. I do Goodreads, and I'll like I take their suggestions for some reason, and I'll just start add books to a cart,
Well,
and
that's a
then
book
one night I
you-
get smashed, and I buy them all.
You had that book last night.
Yeah, because I bought it. I had no idea. Shane texted
It
me,
was
he's like,
$1
hey, this is
or
for you.
something.
It's
I
a
was
fucking
like,
book. I don't know.
all right, that
I
makes
bought that. I
sense.
bought that like a month ago. It just randomly showed up. I paid $1 for it, so what do you expect? But-
Yeah. Well, I bought it. Might as well read it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so we are at the end of the episode. We're
Now,
gonna do-
wait a second.
What?
We didn't talk about the montage.
I
mean, we sort of
I
glanced-
try to get real
we
close
sort
and
of
talk serious about it,
glanced
but it was dumb.
over it.
You're about to listen to Suds bitch about
Tell us, Suds.
music for 15 minutes.
I'll try to.
I don't like this.
I'll try to be a little bit quicker than that.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing.
Tell us, Grandpa.
So I like this episode a lot, but this ending sequence, I love the ending sequence with fucking Hermes and Bender as he like saves Bender. But what is going on with this music that they're using? First of all, James, what song is this?
The song is "Little Bird" by Elizabeth Mitchell.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful.
You think that was good for that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
It's so weird. Why do they use weird
I know, it should have
indie
been
pop
something about like no
songs?
effects, right?
No, it should have been like
Maybe.
Fist Jeans or something.
Oh,
like
fuck.
that.
Why
both
they
of
never play Dead Kennedys on those emotional moments when you really need some Dead Kennedys?
No. Here's what I would say. Why didn't they just write something in house for it? Why did they have to use some weird indie pop song?
God.
All right, this is
No,
a while
go
away.
to Slurmies. We're done.
No, if you keep this up, by the time we get to Game of Tones, we're gonna have a fucking problem.
Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna fight on the podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
gonna
love
be a
to.
fist
I would
fight.
love to narrate that.
We
Suds is crying.
we don't end.
Why is that the first thing that you would assume would
I
happen?
would have to say.
We don't end the podcast until we're on the brink of physically attacking one another.
Well,
Oh, so
let's call it.
would I start crying before James and I actually start fighting?
I assume immediately. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
just because of what I know of you.
Okay.
I mean, if not immediately, then shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Michael,
It's all right.
you
It's all right.
you got no chance.
James, I would tear you in half.
Suds, I'm gonna let you start your with your Slurpee.
Okay, I give it a 3.8. I like this episode. Actually, rewatching it, I actually thought that I thought I was gonna like it more. I actually have like a better memory of it than actually, how I felt watching it. I still liked it a lot. Not quite a 4.0, but wish there was more Fry. But I love Hermes, and I like Hermes and Bender together, just like palling around. I think that's a pretty good team up. We've talked fucking way too much about how Bender can't carry an episode by himself. Typically, there are some exceptions to that rule, like Godfellas. But
When he turns into a human, he carries it.
oh, that's great, yeah. But I love Hermes and Bender together. The Civil War was, I guess, funny, but I don't really care about Star Wars, so...
Yeah.
Or American history.
Yeah, but you got to picture like the audience for this podcast. There's a lot of 20-something
True.
Star Wars nerds
True.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or more, I guess.
Or currently.
I'm
Yeah, but I mean, when it came out,
Sure.
that's what it was written for. That was their demographic.
I'm a spry 61-year-old man, so I don't really care about those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it a 3.8. I think it's a pretty solid episode. A lot of like good sight gags, like background stuff that we were talking about.
Mhm.
I like it. I like it quite a bit.
Okay.
It doesn't hold a candle to next week's episode, but it's pretty good.
Oh my god, you're so obsessed with it.
And that fucking song at the end, fuck that song. Who
Oh my
cares?
god.
It was beautiful.
Get over it.
All right. Dave, you want to go next?
Yeah, I would give this a 3.75.
Oh, so 0.05 less than I did.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were breaking into hundreds.
You can
Okay,
do,
well,
you can do,
evaluate
make
my
you can do whatever you want.
3.1415.
Don't do fractions because I'm not going to figure them out.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Yeah.
So
Well,
I
I
just
just,
rated an even pie.
Suds had a lot of good points. A lot of background jokes were seriously funny.
Yeah.
This whole episode, and you had brought that up, this was a well-written episode, and it definitely had a good outcome to it. I disagree with Suds about the last moments with the song montage thing, but I am not a crotchety old man, so there's that. Yeah, overall, it's a decent episode. I wouldn't give it a 4, and I wouldn't just give it a 3, so obviously.
I agree with you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's right in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
crotchety old man.
I still gave it a better review than you did. And I hate that song.
This music that makes me feel things.
I would have felt things.
And Suds is crying.
I would have.
I would shake a cat at that. Worst one.
I would have felt things whether or not they had some shitty song at the end there because because Hermes is being like really thoughtful and
Genuine and
yeah.
And we don't know him for being like that other than being a
No, he's a
bureaucrat.
fucking bureaucrat.
Yeah,
he's unfeeling. He works in a cubicle and he likes it.
Right,
Yeah.
I feel like he would be demoted a number or two if they knew that he passed Bender on. And
For
really
sure.
respected him and
I'm surprised
that
that when he overrode that didn't get printed out on a report that went to his supervisor and they didn't check that.
I also just realized that nobody mentioned that he ate a calculator to gain his power.
Oh, that's true.
I think
How
that's
did we
what
not?
laughed
How
at.
did we not
I
mention
think that was the big joke that we all.
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
Also, there's an obstruction in your colon. Oh, that's a calculator. I ate it to get its power.
You should have done more impressions based on that.
The more Bloody Marys I get, the better.
Yeah, that's more the better impressions you come
Tongue's
up
getting
with.
loose, friends.
Yeah, we're all
Alright.
funnier the more alcohol.
So,
Yeah,
Eric, do you want to do your Slurmy then?
Yeah, so I didn't realize how far down we could break this. I thought it was 1 through 5.
It is 1 through 5.
I would probably rate it a little higher than you guys. Like if I were going to do a 3.9, 3.8 in there somewhere, 3.972. Can I do that?
Yeah,
Sure,
because that sounds good.
Yeah.
But it's really, you get into the episode and there are a lot of just little funny points through the moments through this little moments where you can tell you're watching Futurama and there's good writers that are putting it together and you giggle. But you get to the end and it all ties together, like I said earlier, like a good book. This was one. There are a lot of episodes in this series that you laugh the whole way through, or that are slightly funny, or you don't know what's going to happen. But this one was really well put together. It's something like I said. I would love to sit and read it. As much as I like watching things, like to just have it in your mind and go through and hit the end and be like, huh, okay.
Well, just to see how they describe the set decoration for the episode, and then Hermes and Bender come upon a pile of dead bears.
Right. But
The dead bears were so fucking funny, and then to actually see the train hit another one and it just launches on top of the pile.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a more thoughtful one than a lot of them, I think.
That's a good point too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Whatever number I said, I forget.
Jim?
Jimmy?
I'm giving it a 5.
Oh,
Whoa!
Shit.
Damn!
All
I thought
right.
we had to do 3 point something.
Everything's in the 3s. No, I mean, watching it today, there have been episodes recently that we've watched where it's been dead silent as we've been going through it, and
Yeah, true.
this one there were a ton of laughs when we were watching the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I can't point to any real shortcomings in it. And Mike actually brought up Hermes and Bender together. It's a character pairing that we don't see much of, and
Not nearly enough.
but it works so well.
This is
Straight
the
edge
only-
and outlandish. It's a good blend.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Buddy
the
cop
characters you wouldn't normally
Yeah,
expect being together go off on an adventure. And I know that you're going to bitch about the song at the end, but I actually like it. I like that song, but I like the way that they used it in that montage. So
It was short and sweet.
yeah.
It's
I
not
agree with
like-
you though. It's an
What are-
emotional
what are-
song. This is an episode that you
what
can
are
actually
the-
end with a tear if it hits you the right way.
What are
it's
the basic
pretty.
lyrics of that song? Can anybody use?
Fly free, little bird.
Okay.
Little bird, fly
Yeah.
through my window, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those emotional songs of taking a
Look,
moment and realizing.
I don't think it's a
appreciating
bad song. I don't think
Well,
that the
you
lyrics
do.
are
You
bad.
said that a
No.
minute ago.
I just don't like how they try to
this
shoehorn
is
it in
his-
into the episode.
His argument for all the seasons is when they do an indie pop song, they put it at the end of the episode. He hates that shit.
I think they can write their own songs,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
good, and they have
But
done
Suds,
that.
how many Beatles songs do you know?
I don't know, 3 or 4.
Yeah, so your opinion on music is
There's
like
that one about the octopus
it's like looking through a straw.
No,
your
I
opinion on
love
music, right?
"Hey Judy." That's one of my favorite songs.
All right, you win. That's why you're my favorite. You're not my favorite. That's not true.
I'm his favorite. Damn it.
You're all my favorites. How many favorites can you have? 3.
All of
I
them.
have 3.
I'd put it at 8.
What was
Yeah, isn't it like MySpace? Your top 8?
Yeah.
Is that what it
Is
is?
that what it was?
What was Scruffy doing this episode aside from being on the losing
I'm pretty
team?
sure he was trying to get rid of dead bear carcasses.
They should have called him in to help. Yeah.
What did Scruffy say when he died?
The candle that burns at both ends.
The candle that burns twice as bright,
Yeah,
burns
yeah.
half as long.
Yes,
Yes. Scruffy. Him and that bucket. I'll never forget them.
Wash bucket. All right, so we are at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Does Eric? Do you have any plugs? I'm assuming you don't have any plugs.
I don't think I have anything.
Yeah?
I have an Instagram. I am German, so it's Insta Tuttle. A lot of T's.
Okay.
It's really hard.
It's
to
a lot
say.
of outdoor. I know.
Yeah, I go places and do things. I don't have anything else than that.
All
If you want to find me, I'm either drunk or at home,
You should.
or drunk at home.
You should maybe give a plug to like Sedona.
Yeah. So I kind of want to move to Prescott, Arizona. If anybody listens from Arizona and you have a spare room,
Right.
call me.
We
Text
probably
these guys. I'll gladly fill that space.
Watch us get like a whole bunch of. Yeah, we got plenty of room here.
Yeah. Check out my
Let's all just
Instagram.
fucking go
That's
there.
what I do.
We are in all 50
don't
states
mind
now.
the other people. Yeah.
I think Idaho was our holdout. I think they were the last ones to actually start listening to us.
Yeah. Other than that, I promised myself that this year I'm gonna play an open mic night somewhere. I play guitar a lot,
Oh,
and
you
I
were
don't
telling
play
me
in front of
that. Yeah,
people.
you should.
But sometime between now and December 31st of 2018, I'm gonna play an open mic night. I'm not gonna tell any of these fuckers because I don't want them to be there.
I'm gonna find
And it
out.
might be, what is it,
I'll
Eric
be there.
Anonymous?
Oh,
Eric
That's what
Anonymous.
maybe that's what I'll be.
Dude, that's a
is
good name.
Eric
Yeah.
Anonymous.
I like that.
And it'll probably be bad because I don't do anything well in front of people except things that people shouldn't see. And that's that.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw some plugs out there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
February 24th at the Underground Bike Shop, Florence and Libby is playing.
I can't make it.
And we're going to be joined
My calendar
by
right now.
Eric Anonymous.
Yeah, right.
He's opening for us, actually.
Exactly, yeah. No, that's all I've got.
So you're dropping those on it. Well, as always, you can follow me on Instagram at DeadWolfSal.
Follow me on Twitter at Gorilla Karate. Also, if you're listening to this in February, I wrote a few poems for a publication called The Right Launch, which you can check out on their website. I assume it's theright.launch.com, but just Google it.
All right. You didn't want to plug your Instagram or
No,
your
Mike Suds. Nobody ever cares, though.
Yeah, but you might as well.
More importantly, I would say if anybody gives a fuck at all, we only have 3 reviews on iTunes. Like, just go give us somebody.
yeah.
I'm going to go on and leave a crappy
Somebody.
review this week.
Well, that's fine. That's
Oh, well,
okay.
These guys are clowns.
Honestly, I don't care if it's bad. Just fucking go give us
Yeah,
some
if you're
sort of a
listening,
review.
we want to hear what you have to say, as we always mention in our opens, I'm assuming.
You get your shit together.
Exactly. As James would say to me, you get your shit together and give us a review on all the things.
Yeah.
Contact us. Do it.
Yeah. You want my should I do? Is this the part where I'd say my social security number?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, right.
Off you go, apparently.